What if you guys were back with some more Paranormal Sight, The Seven Mysteries of Honjo? I know I was tired as hell last night, but you know, I'm good now. I'm good now. We just do top to bottom. And the son of Haru was kidnapped. The botch. Oh, he's a detective. May those who mock fire. What is that F word? Paris? Kill them. The flame bearers. Kill them all. Okay. The haunting clappers. Oh, I wanted this one. You can use it to kill those with fire or fire starting device on their person. Let's use curse spreading. That murderous impulse seeps into my soul like thick black tar. Jesus Christ. I forgot like all their voices, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wanna eat some candy, but you're gonna hear the rapper. Yeah, I gotta get some of that. It's a haichu, guys. I can't fight it off. Come on. Dragon fruit haichu tastes amazing. Sweet dreams. Person of interest. No. Not dreams. Sounds like something I might want to hear about. This is good as hell. Dragon fruit haichu. Tastes amazing. I'm at the focus. I kind of just woke up, so yeah, I had to make up for that. I'm short ass recording yesterday. Well, I'll be damned. Is that what I think it is? Goodness, you made me jump. It's just a silly little sticker my son got from somewhere or other. He put it up just before, well, you know what happened. I still can't bring myself to take it down. Let me take a closer look. I knew it. It's Head Honjo from way back in set number 1. This is a real collector's item. Excuse me? Don't tell me you've never heard of the Mockingbirds. No, we haven't, bro. The what? They're the hottest new craze. Cute little birds dressed up like rough and tumble delinquents. I got bit by a mosquito. I've never heard of them, but this certainly seems to matter to you. The best part is... Oh, I'm yawning. To think one would turn up here of all places. This is a good sign, I'm sure of it. Oh, well, that's nice. Collect your first Mockingbird sticker. Bro, fuck the mocks. An arrangement of flowers would bring in someone to do it. I don't even know what the flowers are called. An old hanging scroll. I don't know who painted it. It's been hanging here since before I was born. Alright, Richter. A private investigator I hired. I'm probably about to sneeze. Let's be. It's a rare wasted Ew. I'm sneezing. I'm yawning. I'm just Jesus. I can't even read. Let me bring you up to speed. We were in the middle of a chat when you suddenly started spacing out, and the whole time you were grinning to yourself like you just won the lottery. Well, she did just die, so. Care to tell me what that was all about? Well, where to start? Do I have memory of getting, packed up? Interesting, very interesting. So the haunting clapper's cursed echo appeared out of nowhere, told you how to perform the rite of resurrection, and gave you the curse you'll need to do it. Have I got that right? That's right. So it's all real, honestly. It's all real. Honestly, I still find it hard to believe. But I guess I have to now. I saw that cursed stone appear in your hand myself. It looked like it popped clean out of thin air. I'll pop you with evidence that's clear. Or I'll clap you. I have to say that. Get clapped when I kill somebody. That's what I'm going to say. There's no denying that there's some supernatural force at work. Rotary phone, pick up the phone. Ringtone, pick up the phone. This mention is a private line. My heart's still racing. This is it, my chance at long last. I don't think you quite understand. Oh? It's more than that. I know it's real. The moment the curse appeared, I knew everything before it even said a word. It was already there in my head, as clear as day. You just knew, huh? It was etched onto my soul, along with the curse echo's resentful memories. So I can feel it, what it was like. Dying like they did, hundreds of years ago. Wreathed in flame, writhing in pain, as my flesh blackens and my blood boils. I can feel it. All the agony, all the rage. It fills me with bloodlust. I think I need to kill someone. Anyone will do, just as long as they're carrying fire. I see. That could be a problem. You think so? From what I know of you, I was sure you'd see it as an opportunity. I was sure you'd see it as an opportunity. The stronger the desire to resurrect someone, the stronger the urge to kill. That's how it seems to me, anyway. Good grief. Talk about a spanner and what in the works. That might be a good idea. That's what you hired me for, ma'am. To look into your son's kidnapping last year. To uncover the truth behind the abduction and murder of Shuichi Shigima. Oh, yes, I remember. They never did find the one who did it. That's what I'm here about today, in fact. Kind of you to let me drop by so late, but by the way, I've been turning over every last stone and I've come up with a grand total of squat, 1 lead. So you said. As far as the police are concerned, it's a cold case, but I've managed to make some headway. I remember. You were just about to tell me. Hey, that's my son. Whoa, what did you say? Did he get left in the river? Sumida. I suppose there's not much point going over the kidnapping itself. No, I'm very familiar. Then I'll leave that for the files to cover and just confirm a few things about the case. The police traced the culprit's cause back to, let's see here, northern Oyoko River here in Sumida City. That's quite a wide area. That's right. In the end, they never managed to nail down exactly where the calls were coming from. But it was almost certainly the same location that Shuichi was being held captive, since Shuichi's voice could be heard during the killer's calls. Northern Oyoko River is quite a distance from Shuichi's normal school commute. Factoring in that he was seen at school but went missing before he arrived at his house, it's likely that he was abducted by a car on his route home. Whatever. Maybe, but exactly. Shuichi was a clever boy. He never would have gotten into a car with a stranger. I'm a clever boy too. That's right. I was very firm about that. I know he understood too. I even saw him warning the other children. It's possible that they forced him into the car. The only issue there is there weren't any witnesses to the kidnapping. You can't bundle someone into a car with that many students around and not be noticed. But nobody came forward to say they saw anything suspicious. So did they target him at some other time or somewhere away from his usual route? Both of those seem a little far-fetched. Which raises the question, how did the kidnapper pull it off? The police never managed to find an answer. In the end, they decided... No, I think I know what he's going with this one. He knew the kidnapper. He knew the kidnapper, bro. Convinced Shuichi to get into the car, but how? The only thing that makes sense to me is he knew him. If they were somebody that he would have a reason to trust, a teacher perhaps, or a relative, or somebody else that he knew. But all the adults Shuichi knew had alibis. The police checked them all thoroughly. They did, huh? No one throws numbers at a problem like the cops. But what if it wasn't someone he knew? Or rather, what if the culprit disguised themselves as a police officer? That would explain why he didn't find them suspicious. The Shigema family has close ties with the police, after all. He would have had a reason to trust them. You might be right. But surely that couldn't have... Well, there's a problem with the theory. You'd be surprised how much police officers stand out. That's sort of the point, after all. They're meant to be a visible deterrent against crime. Oh, this got interesting. But here's another interesting little bit of trivia I happen to know. When you ask people to imagine someone suspicious, nobody pictures women or children. Even kids who've been warned about stranger danger often subconsciously expect that danger to look like an adult man. That is weird. Besides, Shuichi was the sort of boy who wanted to be a police officer when he grew up. He must have had a very strong sense of right and wrong. That's right. Wait, surely you can't mean... Now you're getting it. If, say, a young woman approached Shuichi asking for help, what would he have done? If someone like that said they were lost and asked him for directions, would he have gotten into a car? He might have. They tricked him. He's still young, bro. They tricked him. That's what I hate when people be doing to kids. Like, bro, because you know you can trick them so easy. Don't do that. My husband always told him that a man had a duty to watch out for women and children. You could certainly argue that kind of attitude is outdated nowadays. Facts. Well, so protect the children. Protect the children. But if Shuichi believed it, then we might have something here. Then you think the culprit was a young woman? You just can't trust people nowadays. That's really what it is. But it was a man's voice on the phone. She might have been an accomplice, or maybe she didn't even realize she was being used. If anything, that would explain why she hasn't come forward. She herself might not realize she had anything to do with the case. That doesn't make sense. She's definitely a culprit. So the question is, did anybody see Shuichi speaking with a young woman on the day of his disappearance? See, what I said about people's biases, that goes for witnesses too. I figured that maybe if I started asking new questions, I might get some new answers. So I spent my day asking around Shuichi's school route, seeing if anyone had seen something. And one man thought he had. Do you mean he saw it happen? Well, I can't say that for sure yet. It turned out he wanted something from me, so he asked if we could talk in private. Alright, this should do. There's no one around. We can speak in confidence. Excuse me, what was your name again? Bro, this looks like Jeffrey Dahmer. Or he looked like the serial killer, bro. Got it. Well, Jinochi, I'm all ears. Just so we're on the same page. You're a private detective investigating Shuichi Shigima's kidnapping? Do I have that right? Of course. What else do I look like? How should I know what a private detective looks like? Oh, forget it. Look, I'll tell you straight. My life is in danger. I need your help. You'll excuse me if that caught me a little off guard. Let me ask you straight. Who's trying to kill you? A student called Michiyu Shiriashi. Interesting. A schoolgirl, huh? Sounds like you've been naughty. It's nothing like that. That girl, she's a murderer. I'm the only one who knows, but I saw what she did. Michiyu Shirashi. I saw her kidnap Shuichi Shigima. It's him. Come again? I saw her talk to him on the street and led him away. I didn't think much of it at the time, but then he went missing. She murdered him. I'm sure of it. Or at least she's got something to do with it. That's what you're here for, isn't it? Then you can't let her get it to me. If that's true, you've been sitting on some valuable information. Why didn't you tell anybody? Oh, you see, if you can't explain that, I don't have any reason to believe you. I couldn't. She told me she'd kill me if I spoke a word. You're telling me a schoolgirl had you scared for your life? Just beat her ass, bro. Alright, no, I'm just playing. So, you've been sitting on that all this time, and you think she's coming for you now that you spilled the beans? Yes, that's it, exactly. I'm begging you, don't let her get me. Arrest her, I'm telling you, she's a demon. Well, you seem to believe what you're saying, but it just doesn't add up. How could a schoolgirl have a fully grown man so terrified? Just beat her ass. Like, I'm sorry. It just, like, this don't make sense, bro. He killed the boy. There's no way he didn't. You don't know what she can do. She'll curse me. Curse you? I'm sorry, but you're losing me here. It's true. Her house, oh, forget it. Why do I even bother? Maybe he didn't do it. Hold on. You seem dubious enough to believe me, but I should have known you'd never understand. Enough. I'll find someone else to help me. Hey. And that's about the long and short of it. But I'm starting to see that there might have been more to it than if we can just find that girl. Curse or no curse, if she was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping, then there's a good chance she knows something. On top of that, I did some digging on the man I spoke to. His full name's Kohei Junochi. He's a teacher at Kamagata High School here in Sumida. I thought he was a high school student. Yeah, bro, beat her ass. A teacher. And this schoolgirl is one of the students. I think that's very likely. He just going to beat her ass or something. Like, I don't know. I did not want to do that. The Rite of Resurrection, huh? I read about that in a cult magazine the other day. Apparently some old book showed up recently with all the gory details. They say that the rite can be found somewhere in Honjo. I remember the first time you told me about that. It felt like my prayers had been heard. Like I had hope, real hope for the first time. Ever since that awful day, I've wondered, what if I hadn't sent him to school? What if I just paid the ransom? Not a day goes by when I don't think that if I'd done something differently, Shuichi would still be alive. You can't blame yourself, ma'am. It was the culprit's fault, not yours. I thought I know. Though I know what that won't help any. Grief is funny like that. I'm guessing that's why you're after the right? Guess I didn't need to ask. It's written all over your face. I can't tell how much he meant to you. I can tell how much he meant to you. But, and this is a big but, if this right is the real deal, using it will mean killing someone and stealing their soul. Is that a problem? If it comes to that, I'm afraid I'll have to stop you. Oh, that's a shame. A shame, huh? That's all. I thought if I'm going to be competing with other curse bearers, then your detective skills might come in useful. You realize you're talking about ending someone's life, right? Do you see an issue with that? I think any parent in my position would happily kill for a chance like this. That's so. Is it? Dear oh dear, what have I gotten myself into? My voice, sorry, I was distracted a little bit. My job calling me. I'm gonna finish the task, guys. I'm gonna finish it. I woke up on, and I have to entertain, like, right? Like, can I do my passion? Can I do my dream? All right. Can we leave yet? If it makes you uncomfortable. We've been in here for 22 minutes. I don't need you to kill the other purse bearers. I only need you to find them. I won't be party to murder, ma'am, but not even for a client. I see. I didn't realize you were so stubborn. Let me say, though, it's not like I don't get what you're going through. As long as you're not killing anyone with your own hands, maybe I can help you out. What do you have in mind? Well, how about stealing someone else's curse stone after they filled it with soul drags? If that was all you were after, then I can lend you my services guilt-free. But she killed me, though, so, like, use a bitch. And the other curse bearers want to kill each other. If the other curse bearers want to, that's their business. I'm not trying to be a hero here. I guess there's no guarantee a stolen curse stone will work, but we can worry about that later. Well then, I suppose we have a deal. Although, what if I stole a curse stone using my curse? Would you disapprove? That would void our contract, ma'am. Just warning you now. My... Okay, I guess she didn't care then. Before we go any further, what do you tell me? Why don't you tell me that curse of yours? The hunting clappers, was it? Oh, my nose is so stuffed. It literally just got stuffed randomly. That was weird. That's right. The original story did happen somewhere near here, I think. I'm sure I remember hearing that. Our first move should be to narrow them down. Some of them are bound to try and come for you first. will need to be ready. The curse make their bearers more willing to kill, so an attack could come from anywhere. That sounds sensible. And if I remember correctly, your hunting clappers can set people on fire, but only if they have a naked... That's right. Yeah, her clappers is trash. We used to in old times, wooden clappers were used to warn people of fire. I'm guessing it punishes those who don't heed the warning. It seems like a good curse to have. It's simple and straightforward enough to use. Not really. It's not a good curse. Like, you have to make sure the other person has fire on them. That's stupid. Although it's hard to say how it stacks up without knowing what else it is on the table. You really think it's that good? No, it's not, bro. The first guy's curse is the best. They turn around, they die. It's big. That it works on lighters too. Just slip one into your target's pocket. It's hard to do, and say that condition were already fulfilled before they even knew you're there. They wouldn't even know what hit them. Maybe I won't have to actually use it. I could just tell someone I could, and they'd have to do what I said. Threats could work, although without any proof, it'll come down to how convincing you can be. If only you could use the curse, then back out at the last second. At the last second? What an interesting idea. I have a lighter right here. We could try it now. That's an interesting proposition, but I don't want to die. But maybe not. I'm not quite crazy enough to make myself a guinea pig. Exactly. Oh, I see. You're an odd one, ma'am. If you don't mind me saying, and I don't think it's just the curse. You flatterer. Would. Alright, sorry. I'm sorry. As for what we do next, first of all, I think you should stay indoors. Try not to do anything spontaneous or outside of your normal routine. Right then. Have you decided what you want me to be working on? I want to investigate the kidnapping. Finally. I have a lead. I need to know what happened to my son. Your wish is my command, ma'am. I'll focus all my efforts on looking into the kidnapping. Although, something just occurred to me. You can't investigate the matter at night, can you? At least until the sun rises. Could you search for the other curse bearers? Alright, I see how it is. Well, I'd be happy to help. Odds are good that the other curse bearers are also working by night. Anyway, anyone they kill under the cover of darkness won't be discovered until sunrise. I bet they'll be trying to do as much as they can before morning comes. So it's settled then. I'll look into the other curse bearers by night. And once the city wakes up and I can start asking questions, I'll investigate the kidnapping as well. I'll even try and find Mr. Shirashi as part of the bargain. Thank you. That's more than enough. Alright, can I progress in the story now? Thank you. I should get to work. There's only so much time before sunrise. I'll call you if I find anything new. You stay here and keep a lookout. Alright. There's no telling what kind of curses you might find out on the streets. Don't go outside if you can help it, and try to be ready for anything. I will. Well, if that's all, I should be going. Damn, that took like 30 minutes to complete. Damn. Shigima Mansion reception room. Are we back in here, bro? I wanna tell somebody get clapped, just like that. Like, come on. It's been almost an hour since Richter left. He promised he'd call me if anything happened, but he hasn't. So all I can do is wait and wait. I'm going through it right now. I'm going through it. Just gotta. That's new. Oh, you can't even click on that. Is this a newspaper? It must have fallen off the chair. Dang it. Wow. Wow. It's a newspaper. I only leave them in here for the guests. I hardly ever read them myself. I don't think I've taken the time to go over one in years, in fact. Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. I'm not reading this. Wait, she said what? I don't really watch much television. Okay, there's probably something in here. That's what it is. That'll get her to go outside. Post-war boom. So why does only one of them have a check mark? Okay, I have to go in order somehow. Alright, there we go. I didn't mean to do that one. There we go. Almost there, guys. This part is boring. I think, or maybe it was something about exam pressure. What? But, no, this can't be right. Her name. It can't be. Committed suicide last week? But that means was terrified of someone who already died. It was him! Wait, oh wait, no. I killed her. Is this the chick? The high school girl? Or is that a different chick? Ah, that must be him. Hello? Shigima's resident? Resident. Richter, there's something I need to tell you. Funny, I was just thinking the same thing. He's gazing down at the water. What is he? The water is filthy and horrid, but at night, when it's still, it looks almost peaceful. Can I ask you something, ma'am? Is the Sumida River what you Honjo folks picture when you think of home? I couldn't say. All I can tell you is that I can hardly stand the sight of it. Right, should have guessed. This is where they found him after he went missing. all alone, floating in that horrible water. All I can think is how scared he must have been, how cold he must have been. What did he ever do to deserve something so awful? I've come here every day since then, and I prayed to the river to give him back, to give me back my son, day after day after day. You know, in olden times, people believed rivers marked where our world met the next. So the act of crossing flowing water had a huge amount of spiritual significance. Back when Edo was founded, the people of Chou saw the Sumida River the same way. They associated the far side of the river with the afterlife. The same place would later become Honjo. All their fear and revulsion accumulated there and took root. But then the Ryugoku Bridge sprang up after the Great Fire of Maireki. And just like that, Honjo was part of the city too. And as it turned from farmland into a town, the people surrounded it with man-made rivers and crisscrossed it with canals and waterways. Weren't those to prevent flooding? That's what I was told. They were, but that's not all they were for. Their other purpose was to contain all the corruption that had built up on the far shore, to stop it leaking through to our side of the Great Divide. Officially, they were a physical barrier, but unofficially, they were a spiritual one, too. So, if I have this right, are you saying that Honjo is a place where the real world meets the afterlife? You're literally using curses. I don't, okay. Exactly, that's why the rite of resurrection is here, rather than anywhere else. I'm sure of it. And it's possible, and it's probably why the seven mysteries and their curses have survived to the modern day. And I guess that would make this spot we're standing now right over the water. The border between life and death. My dog's probably about to bark, guys, so I apologize for that ahead of time. If there ever was a place where bringing back the dead might be possible, I reckon it's here. It's funny that you mentioned praying to the river. That might have done more than you think. Is that supposed to make me feel better? Just thinking aloud, man. Well, it's a nice thought. I literally might not get to say get clapped this episode. There's one more memory I have of this river. Do you mind if I tell you? Go ahead. I must have been about 20 years. It must have been about 20 years now, when I was still a schoolgirl. Back then, the Sumida River was much filthier than it is now. It was full of garbage and industrial discharge. It was scummy and slimy, and it stank. And it stank? Yeah. You could look out over the water and see dead cats and dogs and pigeons just floating. And one day, among all the filth and garbage, there was a piece of my missing classmate's hand. What? It was almost a miracle when you stop to think about it. What were the chances that someone would find a part of her that was still recognizable? And that, although everything with the palm had rotted away in the water, the part that was left would have an identifiable scar, and that they could tell it's been a murder from the blade marks on the bump. Wait, are you talking about the Nejima murders? So you have heard of it. I'm impressed. I assume you were but an elementary schooler at the time. I wasn't really aware of it then. I only heard about it after the fact. I had no idea the victim was a classmate of yours. How you just met her today? How would you know? Like, bro, what? To be honest, it was all a bit of a blur. A wave of chaos just parting around me. Something like that. They said the rest of her body must have sunk to the bottom of the river. They combed the riverbed, but they only ever found pieces. Everything else must have rotted and flowed out to sea. Afterwards, I heard that all the divers who had been looking for her fell ill. Ugh, they went in there. A sorry story for everyone involved. It's funny, everyone figures the river's filthy already, so more pieces of garbage won't hurt. So one more piece of garbage won't hurt. But every little bit makes it worse. It's a vicious cycle. I know I wouldn't want to go rooting around down there myself. Facts! That's right. Which is why the riverbed is the last place anybody would go looking, or so was the killer's thinking, I suppose. The times were changing quickly back then. Things were confusing. Everyone seemed to be in a hurry. Young people were moving to Tokyo in droves. Some even ran away from home to make it in the big city. And they made it easy targets for bad people. A lot of them ended up disappearing without a trace. You see, back then, if you chopped a body up into pieces and threw it into the river, it would rot quickly and discreetly and sink to the bottom, never to be seen again. Are you saying what I think you're saying? They arrested him shortly after. Fumichika Nejima, the man who killed my classmate and cut her into pieces. He was so methodical about it. It couldn't have been his first crime. People began to wonder how many other girls he'd murdered the same way. The police never found any evidence of other murders in the end, but the river knows the truth. How many corpses has it swallowed up over the years, I wonder? That same thought spread through everyone's mind, and they started to avoid this area. So really, this river has been ranked with corruption for decades now. Or at least, that's how it seems to me. Well, was that interesting? Well, I can see that you don't have any good memories of this river. With all that darkness lurking beneath the surface, there's no reason that you would. Still, if I may, ma'am, I'm surprised you know so much about the Nejima murders. But how could I not? After all, I was the one who found the hand. I thought who was murdering them. The police actually wrote me a thank you letter. I don't know why she told him that. They said it was only thanks to me that they managed to bring Nejima to justice. That was the only time my father ever said he was proud of me. Wow. Wow. I guess it just wasn't the killer's day. Get clapped. I finally got to say it. I don't care. Sometimes I wonder if he resents me for that. Or for it. You don't think... Wait. Did he get released? Please go ahead. Alright then. I've been poking around places connected to the 7 mysteries looking for curse bearers. And I think I found a few candidates. He's packed up. First a tall man I ran into in Kishibori Park. I asked him for directions, trying to probe him a little, but he turned the questions right back around on me. And he was out of there the second he figured I wasn't what he was looking for. I got the sense curses were nothing new to him. I'm about 40% sure he's a curse bearer. Then there's this middle-aged guy I saw in South Warwick. Bro, that's literally the dude. What do you mean middle? You know him. There's no question about this one. He had one of the curse stones in his hands. He had a nervous air about him too. It was clear he was up to some shady... Bro, that's literally the dude who said, my life's in danger. Like, bro, what? Next up is a pair, a young man and a woman I saw around Ryugoku Bridge. This time, the man came up to me and asked me flat out if I was a curse bearer. I told him I didn't know what he was talking about, and he backpedaled and left. Looks like they lurk around there often. Looking for kindred spirits would be my guess. Though it didn't seem like they were quite working as a pair. Yet what is going on with those two? Gathering soul dregs in a group might be a decent idea if you could make it work. But with things being how they are, it's got to be hard to find folks one could trust. They've got brass though. I don't know what their deal is, but I'd like to find out. They're just trying to set you up, bro. Last is 2 detectives I've seen sniffing around. The police are involved? Not necessarily. A body turned up in a local park a few days ago, so they might just be looking into that. Still, the park's got ties to one of the 7 mysteries. Might be it was a curse that did the guy in. And if they're sending in detectives from the head office, then something's got to be up. How do you know where they're from? Let's just say that's when you're in this business. That when you're in this business, there's some faces you get to know. Anyway, that's everyone who's caught my eye. You found all of them in so little time? I really did hire the best. It's all in the name, ma'am. Richter Kai P.I. Personal investigator. I had to think about that. No, wait. Make that Richter Kai investigator extraordinaire. Okay, relax. My investigator extraordinaire. Is that why you can dress like that without drawing attention to yourself? You bet. An investigator extraordinaire can blend in like a chameleon in any outfit. Well, that aside, the middle-aged man and the young couple sound the most promising, am I right? Whichever we pick, it's still too early to make a move. It seems like the curse bearers are less involved with each other than we thought. Plus, there's still others we don't know about. I say we hang fire and see how things play out. Once more bodies start showing up, that'll get the pot nice and hot. And once it's boiling, our chance will come. What's up? Well, that girl, Michio Shirashi, the one who was with Shuichi the day of the kidnapping, that's her. Well, she's dead. She's what? The student who committed suicide last week, that was her. I heard something like that had happened. Never got the name, though. Talk about bad luck. We finally get a lead, only to find it's turned into a literal dead end. Unless her death was the whole reason Junichi was so shaken up. He said she was going to curse him. Was he talking about her taking revenge from beyond the grave? Seems like we're back where we started. Not necessarily. That teacher knows something, I'm sure of it. That's why he's so scared. I see. It also, something tells me he knows more about your son's kidnapping. In any case, I think I've got a good idea of what he's hiding. Call it a hunch. A hunch? Well, more of a theory. Care to take a guess? I can't say for certain, but Mr. Joichi. How'd he silence himself? Huh? What if Mr. Joichi silenced Miyoshi Shirashi with murder? What do you think? I see. So you think Mr. Shirashi's death might have been... Miss Shirashi's death might have not have been a suicide? That would certainly give him a good reason to think she'd hold a grudge, but I'm not sure I buy it. That might be a little far-fetched. I see. I'm sorry if I disappointed you. Oh, maybe he has... Oh, because that was him. It's his curse. So it has. Not to spook you or anything, but I thought you might be interested in knowing. Life in prison doesn't always mean life. There's precedent for first-time offenders being allowed out on parole after 20 years. Only if they're found to show remorse and desire to reform themselves, of course. That's right, I'm impressed you know so much. Still, it's hard for someone with a criminal record to reintegrate into society. I hear they've been trying to fix that recently, matching inmates with jobs and accommodation. Oh, really? They keep an eye on them, of course, and make them report in for regular checkups. But to avoid discrimination, they keep the inmates' records a secret from everyone but their employers. Guys, it's not a secret from everyone, okay? If your boss knows, she's told someone, or he's told someone, all right? They even give particularly notorious criminals new identities, so they won't be recognized in the workplace. The teacher's the criminal. The way you put it, it's like you're saying Fumichika Nejima could be out on parole right now, back in society under a new name with nobody any the wiser. It's possible, as it happens. With our discussion just now did bring it to memory, and to mind. Jesus Christ, I don't know where I got memory. I see. How unsettling. Now that you mentioned it, I just remembered something too. What was it? I was passing Komagata High School a little while ago when I saw someone. A janitor, I think, and I could have sworn he reminded me of Fumachika Nejima. Oh. He looked a little different after 20 years. Much thinner than I remembered, though, too. I told myself I was just seeing things. But perhaps it was him after all. So, what's next? The big question now is what the rest of the curse bearers are up to. Luckily, the Samita River is a good distance from any of the 7 mysteries. It's unlikely the other curse bearers will come all the way here. I can finally have a moment to think. I see. All right. What? What did I do wrong? What? Whatever. We're gonna end the episode here today, guys. Okay. See you guys in the next episode. I'm so confused right now.